Before we go, can you do it once for us? Now, I know what you probably thought when you saw the title of this video. Wait, didn't I see this already? Well, here's the thing. There were 2 leads for the Mortal Monday commercial, and I was only ever able to find one of the credits. That's until the sister-in-law of the second actor got a hold of me, and I found out he was actually in the Los Angeles area for the time being. So we got to meet up, and he got to tell me his story. And I'm not gonna lie, there are a few discrepancies between the 2 stories from the last video you saw and this one, but I'm not a journalist, I'm just a songwriter with a YouTube channel, so I've been advised by people much smarter than me in this kind of stuff to just have both tell their stories and leave the journalism work to the journalists. So that being said, all the raw footage for both interviews have been given to the reporters at slate.com, as well as any contacts or information that I had, and they have the resources and the skill set to actually look into everything and sort out the details, because honestly, I don't even know where to begin with that. So thanks to Matthew Dessem at Slate. If he or anybody else at Slate decides to cover it, I will link that in the description of this video. As of recording this, there isn't any new article out yet, but keep checking back just in case there is. Anyway, like I said, I was fortunate enough to be able to talk to the other lead in the commercial, and it was a really fun time. His name is Cordell Lochin. He also has the stage names of Cordell Clyde and Cordell Donaway. He was in the LA area for, I think, business, and so we were able to meet up. And a lot of you probably don't care, but for those of you who do, we met outdoors, and I also have been tested every week for COVID, and I'm also fully vaccinated at this point, so we made sure to take all the reasonable precautions. And also, I want to remind you, this is just a portion of the interview. If you want to watch the entire extended interview, that's on my channel, and the link to that will be in the description as well as at the end of this video. So without further ado, let's talk to Cordell Lochin. Cordell Lochin, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Good.
Also known as Cordell Clyde.
Cordell Clyde, yes.
Or Cordell Donaway.
Do you have a preference?
No, not really.
Are there any cool stories behind the different names?
One is my father's name, which is my middle name, Clyde.
Oh, okay, awesome.
So I typically use that for acting. Lochin I use for business. Donaway was what I used growing up, which was my mother's last name.
Okay, awesome. And then back in the Mortal Kombat days, were you going by Cordell Clyde?
It was so long ago, I really don't quite remember.
Yeah, no, I completely get it.
At the moment, but it was quite a while ago.
Yeah, I can't remember like last year.
Yeah.
Let alone 30 years ago.
Yeah, it was close to 30 years ago.
Can you believe how long it's been?
It's unbelievable.
You were one of the 2 leads
Right.
in the commercial, and your voice is the one that's used, the deeper one that's used in the song and what most people know.
Yeah. So I was honored to do the commercial. Couldn't believe it. Me and another guy were the leads. We had to call out to a crowd that this amazing thing was about to happen, and so we had to call the commencement of this war, of this battle.
Yeah.
You know, I've been doing martial arts my whole life. I was a big Bruce Lee fan. So it was even more of a big deal for me. I actually taught my little brother, Caleb Archer. He's a professional Muay Thai kickboxer and a martial arts coach.
Wow, so your family's like real life Mortal Kombat.
Oh, me and my brother are. Me and my brother are definitely, we're definitely pretty much, live Mortal Kombat guys, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. How did you get the gig, and did you know what it entailed when you first got it?
I can't remember what agent was representing me at the time, but I went to an audition.
Okay.
I think I had a callback, and Mortal Kombat was a thing at the time, but it wasn't the thing that it is now or what it grew to be. So it's a little bit more of a niche kind of, for a certain pocket of people, and I thought that was cool. I didn't know it was going to be an international, commercial extravaganza. I did the commercial, and it was a lot of fun. Weeks, maybe even months later, they called me back. They wanted me to come to the studio, but I had to sign off without my agent's permission for them to use my voice. And at the time, it was a few $1,000s, and that was a lot to me. And
yeah,
and I had no problem doing it, and I actually have no regrets to this day. I do wish that they'd done it through my agent. I could have still been getting paid, but I don't think they could have afforded to at the time, or maybe they didn't know what a large thing it was going to become. So I went down to the studio. I had a great time with those guys. They had me scream that thing about, I don't know how many times. Took a break, drank some water, drank some tea, screamed it again, did different feelings, made it a little louder, made it a little less loud, a little more aggressive, a little deeper. They had me do, I know, so many different variations. And I guess they went through and chose the variations.
And so this was after the commercial was filmed?
After the commercial. It's like maybe weeks, months after the commercial.
Okay.
I was surprised to get the call.
So you knew that you were going to be that role before you got to set?
I knew that I was one of the leads on the commercial.
Okay.
I didn't know what the commercial was gonna require of me and what I had to do. But I knew yelling Mortal Kombat would be a part of the commercial.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that it was gonna be in a city atmosphere and you know, anything, you know, because when I envision Mortal Kombat, I'm thinking like, gonna be out in like the woods somewhere.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I thought maybe we were gonna go to a studio. You know, I just went to a location where I was sent, and I didn't have to do a lot of work on the commercial. I think most of the time they were filming the extras moving around.
Oh, like all the B-roll.
Yeah, and then
right.
they had then I had to shoot two times for the day, wait around a lot,
Oh, yeah.
and then after I saw the commercial, I realized, okay, when they edit it, I'm calling to the people and then they're coming.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually know how the commercial was gonna even pan out. You know, I just came there and did my job.
Yeah. Were you acting a lot at that time or starting out, or have you been doing it for a
Yeah,
while?
at the time I'd been acting a lot, some TV and some film roles. And it's something that I started working and building restaurants and nightclubs and so on and so forth. And I had lost my agent. A new agent came, and he had other actors that were in my category. So I guess he had been working, building their careers, and didn't really have the space for me. So I wasn't able to get another agent. I was kind of a little let down by the fact that I had done so much acting and done so well, and wasn't able to get anybody to represent me. So I kind of had given it a rest for a minute. And now I go back and I train. And it's something that I would like to get back into when, you know, when I can really get the time. If it's
When was the last time you remember acting?
on a set, it's been a while.
Okay.
It's been quite a while. And then what happened was I went to the movie theater, and it was and the song came on, you know, at the beginning of the movie. And I was like, wait a second, that's my voice. Oh my God, that's me. And then it came on again. Everyone said, Cordell's your voice. And it was directly, you could directly hear it was my voice. And
Yeah.
And I was really, really excited. And then I heard, I was in a nightclub one day and they were playing it. And I was like, that's my voice again. Oh shit. And it was a kind of cool thing, so.
Yeah. That song really brought EDM to like the mainstream.
Yeah. I was trying to tell my friends, that's my voice. And I think the friends I was with at that time weren't putting it together. Like, I think, Cordell, you might have had too many drinks. So
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you remember when I did the commercial? I was trying to explain. And
Yeah, it does kind of like read, for anybody who doesn't know, is like one of those like bar stories, right? You know?
Yeah. People to this day still don't believe me. I mean, I tell people when it comes up, I'm like, oh, that's my voice. They're like, get out of here. No, it's not true. Are you serious? Why you never tell me before? And so they still continue to use my voice, and you know, and it's a great honor to me.
I wasn't able to find you before your sister-in-law got a hold of me because I wasn't able to find the credit anywhere. Did you choose not to have that on there, or did it just kind of get lost in time, or?
I have no idea. I wasn't. I didn't even know about it. I never checked for my credit. I never thought about the credit. Never even thought about taking credit. For the record, it is me.
Yeah.
Be nice to get the credit. I'm just happy I did the work.
Yeah.
And happy I know, and people that know me know.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just one of those things. I don't know if it's something that they didn't want to give me credit for, or maybe because I signed a dismissal for them to keep it. They thought maybe not to give me the credit. I'm not quite sure the politics of that.
Is there anything you know of that could like bring like official records or, you know, like evidence or something that it was you?
And it was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Wish I had a copy of that paper I signed.
Right.
I'd love to reread it, see what it says. It'd be impossible to find. I don't think it exists
Okay.
anymore.
As far as I know, it's not very common for like sound bites from a commercial to go into so many other things. You know,
Yeah.
because that sound bite it's iconic. It was in the song.
Yeah.
I mean, did you have any idea that it would go further than the commercial?
Not at all. When they asked me to come to the studio, I still wasn't sure at that point where it was going to be placed. I thought it might have been just for the video game.
Okay.
Or I thought it might have been just for a soundbite somewhere. I thought it would have been a soundbite. I was really thinking at that time it'd be a soundbite for radio commercials.
That makes sense.
So that's what I thought I was doing. Once I realized my voice was other places, I was definitely taken back. I was definitely surprised. You know, I was wowed when I was in the theater and I heard that for the first time. That's when it came to my attention.
Were you with friends or family?
Yes, I was with a few friends. I can't quite remember who I was with, but I remember we were all jumping around excited, like, oh my God, that's my voice.
That's incredible. Yeah, and so for anybody that's not familiar, I'm assuming what you did was work for hire, where they kind of buy you out all at once.
I don't remember what I signed.
Royalties, yeah. In music, I've done work for hire where you take a few $1,000s up front, and then they don't owe you any royalties. And every once in a while, I see like a commercial or something, and one of my songs is like playing in the background. I'm like, okay,
Maybe they wouldn't have been able to afford to give me a royalty, so they wouldn't have been able to use my voice.
Yep.
So if that was the case, then I'm glad that I did it. However, if they could have afforded to give me the royalty, then
yeah.
that would have been nice too. So if there's anybody out there who wants to give me a royalty on that voice, I'm easy to find. If
Yeah.
not, I understand.
We'll have his Instagram in the description below. Is there any other socials that you prefer
No, I'm just Cordell NY,
on Instagram?
Instagram, Facebook. I ended up doing a lot of big parties, a lot of events. I did the Door, Tunnel, Twilo, Vinyl, the Roxy. I did the Door at a lot of places. And I went on from there to promote and organize huge events and parties, weekly parties, one-time events as well. And then I did that for quite a number of years. And then from there, I went on to build a place called La Esquina, and then another place called The Box, and a couple other places since then.
Were these in New York and LA?
Yeah, I was in New York places, all
Okay,
New
very
York.
cool. And are you native to New York?
Born and raised in New York my whole
awesome.
life.
I don't have like the, I don't know what you call it, like the stamina for New York, because it's an awesome place, but it takes like this endurance.
I guess being born there, raised there, I didn't realize that until having spent some time other places.
Yeah.
It was like, well, the pace is a little different, the lifestyle. I kind of get used to the noise, the hustle and bustle, the moving, the whole pace of New York.
Yeah, and is that still what you're doing now?
Yeah, I'm out and spending some time in LA, but I'm still based in New York primarily.
Doing like restaurants and stuff like that?
I'm also working on some cannabis projects.
It's a good time for the business,
Yeah.
And we're out in Venice Beach, which is arguably one of the capitals for this business. So
One of the capitals of the world for marijuana. California
yeah.
itself is probably the capital of cannabis.
So would you say that you're more of like an entrepreneur these days
Yes.
then?
I've always been an entrepreneur.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you said you would like to get back into acting. Would you want to ease in onto it, or do you want to?
Yeah, I would.
Big?
I still love to practice acting and do different kind of character acting.
Yeah.
And it's just like a fun kind of home hobby for me right now. Help friends with lines at times, and sometimes I'll pick up a little script and play with the role. So it's more like a fun thing for me. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind to maybe put that back to screen again.
Well, here's hoping the new movie does well, and then that sequel happens. And everybody's watching. You know.
Hey, I'm right here. Just let me come read. Let me come read and audition for a role. That's all I ask.
What role would you like if they did a sequel?
Oh, I don't know. I can do all those fancy kicks and all those martial arts, so I'll take any one of them that I get to use a little bit of skills.
Yeah. I have some questions from the internet, if you don't mind. Some of these you already kind of partially answered, but I guess you can expand on some of them. My friend Jason asks, how does it feel to go down in history and remembered for yelling 2 words? What was it like then at its height, and what is it like now that the internet has enabled people to kind of find out more generally?
Well, then when I was doing it, I didn't know I was being put into history.
Mm-hmm.
So now the aftermath of that, I'm kind of honored. Also being a martial arts fan and a Mortal Kombat fan, I'm happy that I'm a part of the legacy. Even though I'm a very small, minimal part of the legacy, it's a good feeling. Seeing it turn into what it did, and then actually being a part of it. And no, I never knew.
My friend Levi asked, and actually you kind of pretty much answered this, like, who do you think you're screaming for? And you're saying to the crowd to kind of like get them together.
I think I'm calling for the commencement of a great battle, the ceremony of this great, epic battle of warriors of men.
My friend Jen asked, what was the prep like for you? Did you practice in front of a mirror? Did you have an epic training montage?
No, it was kind of just on the spot. You know, they asked me to scream Mortal Kombat. I did it, and then they're like, "Oh, that's great." And then they kept giving me some guidance, like, say it like you're calling out to people, like this is this great epic battle. They kept coaching me into the feeling, and then I hit it spot on. I kind of got a good feeling. I was like, you know, I think I did a good job there. You know, I didn't know if I was gonna get called back or not, but I knew I did a good job when I was like, I saw the look on the people's face when they were directing me, and when I kind of, I think, followed their instructions.
So did you know when the take was the take? Like, this is...
Yeah, the last couple ones, I was like, I hit that.
So something I was playing with on a video I did like 2 years ago with that scream was pitching and stuff. Do you know if they did any of that with your voice, or was that just you?
I have no idea, but I recognize it as my voice as soon as I hear it. I'm sure, and you know, and the many times that they've used it, they've played with it to adjust it to whatever it is that they needed it for.
I didn't think about that. So somewhere in like the Warner Brothers archives or something, someone has that original file. I happen to be watching. Get a hold of his Instagram, because that'd be really interesting.
I'm right here.
Because there's this, in a way, this mystery around that sound sample kind of fits the mysteriousness of Mortal Kombat. Did you play it very much?
Back then I did.
Yeah. Well, you know, remember in that time, like pre-internet days, it was all like kind of like hearsay, you know?
Yeah.
There's a blood code. That was true. There's a nude code. That's not true, you know, like, and stuff. And so the sense that, I mean, I'm not accusing anybody, but if someone is like purposely like not letting information out about it, it kind of fits the brand of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I guess it's supposed to stay a little mysterious.
Well, yeah. I will say people in the comments of the commercial and stuff had commented on you, because that's when the scream happened and everything. I guess the little bit of like kind of what was up in the air was like, you never know how things are edited, you know?
Yeah.
And you said you went and did ADR. One would assume the ADR was for your appearance in the commercial, not elsewhere.
Correct.
My friend Andy said, are you good at screaming any other phrases, maybe some that are less violent?
I don't know. I'm just good at screaming, whistling.
Had you done any
noise.
other voice acting?
I remember one thing that I did particularly well for a couple commercials. I give the ending of all the specs and the legality.
Yeah, oh, you were the fast voice at the end?
Yes, I did that twice.
Oh, wow. That's some skill.
Yeah.
Byron asks, what's your favorite fatality?
The head off.
The spine or the...
There's one where the head gets chopped off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a couple. I know, like, Katana does one.
Yeah.
That's my favorite character.
Yeah. I do like the spine one, too, and they pull this.
Yeah, that's pretty iconic for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
You kind of already answered. You did a bunch of takes, but you can't recall exactly how many. And stuff, you did a bunch of different...
in the ADR and on the commercials, fewer takes. On the ADR, they had me yell it quite some time.
You know how long you were there for?
I was there for a while, hanging out.
Yeah.
Did a couple of takes, chilled, came back, did some more.
Did they have you try to do different ways besides just like a full blast thing? Was there anything softer or like different moves?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yell it a little lower, yell it a little louder, more forceful, faster, slower. I said it about as many different ways as one could.
Kendra asked, if you were a character in Mortal Kombat, what would your fatality be? You're a martial artist too, so this is gonna be interesting.
I'd want to kill people with my left high kick, I
Like
think.
kick their head off.
Yeah, do a left high kick and the head just roll off the shoulder.
Oh, that'd be pretty
That'd
dope.
be kind of cool, like left high kick and the head roll.
You already pretty much answered this, but if there's anything else you want to add on to it, like what the actual casting call was like, and did you know completely what you were signing up for? So you said you went through an agent. Did they come to you with this role?
Yeah, I can't remember what the agent was. The agent sent me on a commercial. They didn't tell me much. I just followed instructions. I was excited about the Mortal because I was playing it on the actual arcade.
Yeah.
It wasn't yet in the home systems.
Well, is there anything else that you'd like to share about the story, or?
I think we kind of got it all. You know, if anybody ever has a question, I go through and look at my unread messages every now and then. I'm glad to.
Yeah, I'll attest. Like that's how we came in contact
Yeah.
with each other, through Instagram. You did
I'm
answer.
at Cordellny on Instagrams, and you know, I played a little minimal role.
Yeah.
I did a little thing. That was a part of a big thing and a part of something great. And I'm happy that I was able to add a little something to something so big and great.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for your
Oh
time.
man, no problem. Thank you for taking the time to come ask me some questions.
And once again, I'm not a journalist, but if you'd like to follow Cordell or anybody else's like Mortal Kombat stories, I believe Slate will be covering more stuff. Or possibly.
I'm here.
So you could probably look. If they do, I'll link it in the description of this video. Before we go, can you do it once for us?
Mortal Kombat!
Yeah. I can feel that in my chest. Thank you so much. Have
No
a
problem,
great day.
You
and
too,
have a
man.
safe trip back to the East
Thanks a
Coast.
lot, man.
Thanks for watching. Go check out the extended interview on my channel. Also on that channel, I had a conversation with some childhood friends I haven't spoken to in 25 years about a Mortal Kombat birthday party I had as a kid. You don't want to miss that. And I'd also like to thank all my amazing Patreon supporters on the screen right now, and especially Cal Harrington, Ray Price, A Band's Life, and NerdSync. If you'd like to learn more about supporting me on Patreon, check out the link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.
Can you do it once for us?
Mortal Kombat!
Yeah.